what possible for him is going around social media. You should just hold on. You will be anything about it because you've been secretary or something like that to rescue Nigeria. At this point in time, I know something gotta give. I keep saying it. I don't know. Come out to actually point in time. We should go out and protest. We should go out and, but with the close relationship I have with people in power,
over 12 years without a vote.
I thought I had seen the level of wrath to the judiciary. So what that has given him, plus he was, initially practicing lawyer in Nigeria. So Kutepa's interview, at some point, because I don't know if some of us, what we feel is but like the feeling of being, on the right team, on the cool team. I don't know if that's what some of us feel. I feel that I'm literally disgusted with Tinubu as a person. Literally. As in, I see Tinubu and I want to puke. Then of course I love Peter Obi. Then I also personal stories, but I really want Nigeria to work as a country. So sometimes when I see a couple of these things, I feel the pain from really, really deep within. So sometimes if you follow my tweet and you see me tweet, it's not really out of just wanting to emphasize something. It's really, really out of a place of pain for the country. And this is not pain of taken as a person, knowing that, right? But a class is not between the poor and the wretched. Right. So it is how deep the problem, so I don't see a judgment of Kano State and feel like, this is bad for Kano. Oh, this is this. No APC wants to do a one-party state and all that. All that is true. But for me, I look deeper. I look a little bit long term. I look a little bit at deeper implications. It is why over time, the difference, right, it will help us, right? But I also thought, for me, I feel like it's there are different approach to it, right? If maybe we can get the judiciary right, it will help us. But if you're a risk manager or you're a risk person, right, you would understand the fact that if you want to deal with something that have multiple outcomes, right, that is really within all your control, it's easier. So my point is that the judiciary had so many people and characters vary. So for me, I just feel like, if I want to change Nigeria, because there are really 3 points from which to change Nigeria. The real 3 points. There are many points, but right. And I'm thinking, that's like 400 and something people. What's the tendency that I can capture all of them? Because if I capture I just half, it may not still be enough. So I feel like that's so many group of people. Then I come to judiciary and I think, okay, let me assume that Trinity, because I know the only arm of government that is solely very powerful, that if you can influence, you have a stronger tendency to influence every other arm, was the president. Let me not even say executive. Was the president, at federal level now. Of course, there's still state level where you can still do. But the truth is, if we do that, okay, if I can fix the presidency, if I can put a Peter Obi with character, competence, and every of this in capacity as a president, I know the implication in every other arms of government. But INEC played the game and judiciary followed. Now, what judiciary is doing, for people that would think about it deeply, it's very deep. I don't know. And if you listen to the mindset space with Prof or Odekalu, there's this chilled fear that will come into your body that what is going on in Nigeria is not, it's going to go way beyond, Tinubu. So I've come to realize that although Tinubu is, because I've told people that for me, when I say Tinubu is right. So unless we deal with these people, we are in for a long ride. We are, I really don't know how to say it. And I think my only joy recently is the fact that I think the virus is catching up. It's not a virus for real. I think it's probably even I'm so desperate about this that, like I said, funny enough, I'm not interested. I've had people ask me if there's a revolution. Okay, what will happen after the revolution? I'm like, I really do not know. In my head, I'm not really interested. I've pictured different perspectives. I'm like, okay, maybe there's a revolution, and some places in Nigeria are already like a revolution that probably drives protest. We should still be protesting. In fact, I would support an Abado protest if I have to be honest. That's how desperate I am. I will feel relate, right? Back then in the days, I'm not that old, back then in the days where maybe the Mombolandi not posh Mombolandi, but people that grew up in the village where they used to use stone to light fire, it's not the time that you hit the stone. I mean, you get a lot of spark, but it is one spark that will bring the fire. So for me, I'm like, okay, it's fine. So it's why when people see every protest and they think every protest is going to lead to, the first reaction for me is not for us to say, oh, Nigerians we are too weak, let's not even bother, it will not happen, right? It's also not for us to say, oh, Nigerians are too this and that. All those things we say, we are correct, to be honest, we are correct. But like I said, or like a couple of people say, right, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant it is now. So if you sit now and say, oh, I should have planted this tree 20 years ago, I missed it, but you do not plant it now, you come to another 20 years from now and look back and say, and I remember 20 years ago that I did not plant it 20 years ago. I should have just planted it that 20 years ago. You will start to think. So for me, and the tree is the perfect example because all of us, I mean, okay, let's say agricultural related people know how long it takes a tree to grow up. So the point I'm really making here is that it may not look like it. It may not look like, I know we all want this revolution so bad, and I want it so bad because I think the longer it takes, the more difficult it becomes. That's really just the truth. But the way we can get there is really to, like Saddam said, and I think a couple of people, I think our brother Steve also, alluded to it. And a couple of people said it, on that last piece. People say it's already happening in Nigeria now, right? I think an average Nigeria, to an extent, already knows that, okay. All these people wicked. So for them, it stops at the wicked, right? But really, some of them just feel like there's really nothing we can do about it, or whatever we can do about it, we do not have the balls to do it. So what is really in for us now is to gradually start to shift the mindset in Nigeria. I've many times made reference, just for the sake of people that probably are hearing for the first time. I've said it so many times that between 2020, so before 2020, there was so many talk about police brutality. There was a lot of trending of NSAS online. Every time SARS kills somebody, every time somebody talks about their experience with SARS, people would talk about it online. That's when, Amstel Mott Segalink, thought, he had achieved a lot. Right? And, kept going. But it took just one killing somewhere. Okay, let me put it like this. If before the guy that was shot at Ughelli and his car was driven away that led to the protest, nobody had talked about NSAS. Nobody had talked about SARS at all. Nobody had talked about what SARS have been doing. There would have been no NSAS. So point is that people had been talking about it for a long time. That's why when something that eventually broke the straw, that broke the camel's back happened, people picked on it very fast. Then fast forward, it happened and whatever, the government did what it did. And the first conversation was, okay, right, it's obvious that for us to implement some of all these things is going to take a lot of blood. And, there's no wise man. Trust me. In fact, I don't even a foolish man say. There's really no wise man, of probably some foolish men, that will choose the option of, of war when the option of peace is possible. Right? Even the biggest of warlords that you think these people like wars. They might act like they like wars when it comes to countries or places or people that they can intimidate. But the truth is that it was a mindset. Really, it was really just a mindset. That mindset was so strong that people got to know that, oh, we are about to do election. We'll be like, say we go, finally, we'll be free. We have a Peter Obi, we have a perfect candidate, and we know this man can win this election because of the way we are supporting him. And, and just like the Lekki massacre, those soldiers, INEC became the soldiers that pulled the trigger this time. And after that, those shots, somewhere in everybody's mind, I mean, you might say, oh, it was never in your mind, it's okay. But the truth is that even if you didn't expect it, but somehow you hoped for it. Somehow in your mind, even if you didn't think the judiciary would do the right thing, but somewhere in your mind, you hope that they will do it. Because still, like every wise man, you would think, I would rather do it this peaceful way so that nobody would have to die for it. Right? And judiciary, just like the military in October 2020, again, just like INEC, the new military on February 25th, 2023, judiciary pulled a double stunt. In fact, that was so crazy. Like, picture that, like, it was like a double barrel. Like, they came, appeal and Supreme Court and pulled that stunt. From that moment, everything changed. And that's really the honest fact. Everything changed from that moment. From the moment appeal court gave that judgment, from the moment the Supreme Court placed a stamp on it, everything changed in Nigeria. So where we are now is a dangerous part. Listening to what the Carlo just said, it just came to my mind that, and this is true. So if you think this current political class are just going to wear off, they are just going to get old and die and get away, it's a lie. It is a big lie. In case if you don't know, in case if you really don't know, what do they call this woman? Odili's daughter is somewhere in the court. She's so young. She has a very good prospect of becoming a Supreme Court judge. But she started quite young. Oh my God. Ariwola just not too long made the son a judge. So what will happen years from now is that people like Bashir El-Rufai will run for president, rig the election, then get people like young Odili, the current junior Odili, to stamp it in the Supreme Court. And then we all will be inmates, right? We all will be with them. So we by then, our parents of now, then our children of then, or by then, would start maybe judgment of back then. So it's why, for real, we are on a dangerous path. And I really want to urge everybody. I say this every time.
The painful part for me is not even just what you just said now. Is that their children are more evil, are more sophisticated than their parents.
Exactly.
That is the scary part. But go on, bro.
Yeah. That's actually because oh man. So anyway, sometimes I think about this, and I'm glad that Free said I'll be really busy with other things, so I don't have to think. But sometimes when you think about this, you just be legit sad for the country. You go job, you go see, but you go just the vex. So for me, like I said, when I was giving the submission earlier, why I had to make that point about the tree is that I think what we can be doing now, what we should be doing now, is to further amplify how much we bring Nigerians up to speed. And I mean Nigerians in the street. I know people will say, oh, let's strategize and I'm up for, strategies are fine. But like I said some time back, sometimes to get on speaker, one thing I said was that I think the very least is that even you within your own sphere of influence can start to be that brand ambassador of a revolutionary move to change Nigeria. And it is someone where, let's be honest, I know just that, but let's know that this is where we are. And by the time we know it, Nigerians are living in complaint by default, as in the default stature of a Nigerian currently, especially in Nigeria, is that of complaint. So you see someone and the next thing the person goes with, and the person there must be something to complain about. And Tinubu have opted for, have opted for everybody. So it can be as little as chipping in the conversation. I mean, maybe you might say, so you don't say, oh, they are limiting how you do it. But me, I'm all about the practical way of doing things, right? It's why when people say, oh, there are also practical things we say on when we come to space and all that. It's as simple as you are in a conversation. Somebody is saying you are in a supermarket, you went to the market, you went somewhere, and there's a conversation which is always a complaint, almost always a complaint. And if maybe you feel like, oh, you are too gentle, or you are really not the type of person that will now vehemently, try to talk about how we need to the revolution. You feel like it's just, even if it's just to say, all this one at the talk, so when I never say anything, these people, say this country, go. I just they tell you, the only way we just change this country like that now. Now, if we just revolt one day, I don't know whether we will do one, but now the only thing, I they tell you the truth. This thing you've said, like this, is a seed. I mean, the person will just only hear it. I'm like, the person might not dwell on it that moment, but if that person listens, hears it from 2 or 3 people, it becomes something that they consciously start to be aware of. Does it mean they will act immediately? No. But let me tell you the implication of that, and I described this very vividly on a space some days back, is that what we don't want to also afford in Nigeria, because I saw yesterday our brother Steve opened the space when Kanu was protesting, right? And the space was quite fun for the time where I was there, because rightly so, I don't go lie, we Southerners are the shame for us, because sometimes you'll be like, say, now I'm out today, but we all run and call the hard, and I mean us. So, but point is that it brought up some, a couple of Northerners, people that were mostly in Kanu, and some of them spoke about, you could tell they were angry and no mobilization. But see the point of, if we start to transfer the mindset, is that let it not be that the day that one place will rise up, the other people will be caught unawares. Because what will happen in Nigeria needs to happen in such a way that the virus should be caught very quickly. So if people, for example, in the South have been hearing for so long that the only way, if we just one day rise up against these people. I said this some time back, not some time back, on Tuesday on the space. Some people thought it was a joke. In fact, that's true. I just thought about, because sometimes when I'm thinking, I used to think about strategies, and I will just put it down. Please, if you're a video editor, be in my DM. If you know you edit video, I think we need to work on a project. Because what I'm thinking is, maybe we need to help produce documentaries and circulate in our phone. Let people, so that people, and when I say documentary, I mean documentaries of countries that have rose, the documentaries of short documentaries, so that when you're in place and people are saying, you are talking to people, you say, bro, watch this video, and someone sees what happened in the Arab Spring, someone sees what has happened in countries where these things have happened and it has been effective, and the person will think, more this thing, like, for me, to be honest, and I'm going to round up.
My brother, when Nigeria, they stress yourself, right? So they stress yourself, they do all this. My brother, when hunger hit people, you don't need to, you can't do video. When
No,
hunger is
Saddam,
there, they will go out on the
Saddam,
street. And Nigeria, they just say, talk like this. You
what
say
I've
Tinubu
noticed
cannot
about
dey help them.
Nigerians is that a lot of the time, so because the biggest fear, that's why I know Nigerians are going to get angry, but I think it really beckons on us to help them know where to channel that anger. I mean, we have been on Twitter, yeah, where someone will complain about something and say, now we they do ourselves. Eh? Now, which woman the other day, is it not Messi, whatever, that was trying to say, and I don't know, they say they import egg. And so there's a narrative where there's a tendency that if we don't reshape Nigerians' mindset to know where the problem is, the day a Nigerian wants to get angry, he will think his problem is his neighbor that is riding one car. And you just think, oh, if I feel attack this one, if I feel take from this one, if I feel do to this one. So it's really what I'm concerned. I know Nigerians will get angry. What I'm more interested in is when Nigerians get angry, we need, not we, now, when I say we, it's not really like those of us on Twitter, because for me, I see this thing like something that will spread on it. So it's almost like the election, right? We were here shouting, although like Saddam said, there's a huge big difference. It's very difficult to compare election period and pre-election and post-election period. If you try to do it, you'll be making a very mistake. There's something this is that does not match. But the only point I'm going to take from there is that before the election, there was a conversation about Peter Obi so much that even people that really, it's not everybody that watched Peter, it's not everybody that came to love Peter Obi watch his video, watch him or saw him or heard him. There was a conversation about him so much that people got interested, genuinely interested. So I'm just saying that the conversation really needs to be focused. And that's where, I'm going to round up on my submission today. But I really want to inform us, sad as it may be, we are in a dangerous part. I mean, when I say that, I know you will say, I know now. Even myself, I know. But I want to even tell you that even on that, your know that you know is even more dangerous than you think you know. And I know this because even as dangerous as I thought it was, when I listened to Prof on Sunday, I saw that how dangerous I thought it was still a joke in my head. It's really bad, guys. It's really bad. And we need to fix it. The best time to have done it or to start talking about it, maybe if we're talking about revolution since 20 years ago, for don't happen by now. So the best time to have done it was 20 years ago. The next best time to do it is now. So on that note, I'll just round up. Thanks to everybody for joining the space. Hopefully we have a very interesting and resourceful conversation. Saddam, I'll hand over to you at this point.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. I think you did the whole coordination than I do, but I think just to stamping of criminals. If you're waiting, and that's if you have not died before 2027. So there is nothing else. I think that's the best way just to pass the message out there. The only way to save Nigeria is a revolution. And do not expect anybody to come and lead you in a revolution. Because I'm seeing other people making posts. Who should lead the revolution? You lead it yourself. You. Don't come and waiting for anybody to come and be your leader. Or somebody to come and be your boss. No. If you're hungry in your house, you're hungry alone. If you're testing your house, you're testing alone. If you're eating in your house, you're eating alone. Jimmy now they chop turkey for this thing. They do celebrate. If they chop them alone, you understand. So if it is working for you, Nigerians, we have to learn how to be. We know how to be selfish in every other thing. We know how to do. I pass my neighbor. We know how to do this thing. But when it comes to the collective now to help our country, we are looking for heroes. No. This revolution will be chaired and championed by Nigerians passing through Nigeria. Nigeria is happening too. It is the only way we can salvage this country. Everybody know that you are the leader of your own revolution. You on your own. Somebody made a tweet and said, I think it's now time APC elections in that country again. They go say election, the vote of every single Nigerian country. So you can at least help us get. I see every one of you on the platform, all our regulars. Thank you for coming. All those requesting for the mic. We will make sure the mic gets to every single one of you. Thank you to all of you on the platform, all our big handles. I see you all. all our blue tickers, non-blue tickers, thank you for joining us on the platform. Please, let's keep this conversation rolling. All right, let me go circle back to you, well meaning. Thank you, bro.
All right, thank you very much, Saddam. And Saddam, when you were speaking, you know what came to my mind? You know, funny enough, I think in 2027, not like if for any reason 2027 we finally get to 2027, like Jimmy was saying, because if Nigeria does not rise up for 2027, we'll get there, right? If we finally get there, you know, it will probably more difficult to convince someone to, okay, more difficult to convince someone to vote than to convince someone to revote. It will be easier if you tell someone to say, "May we run down this thing," and say, "May we go vote." The person feels say, "May we go vote." The person say, "May we run down this thing." The person say, "We don't go fit to go hard." The person, so it will be very, very extremely difficult, and that's why it scares me. Anyway, on that note, I'll just quickly.
Sorry, let me just add it also. And when we say this thing, it is that's why I have to say APC must go. APC must go is coming together of Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians across party lines, whatever across belief system, coming together to say APC must go, because I'm saying APC must go. Let us understand that even with the rigging, that criminal Yakubu Mahmoud, he deserves jungle justice first. Even with that rigging, Tinubu's vote, if you add up the vote of the opposition, the rigged votes of the opposition, that is Peter Obi's vote, Atiku's vote, Kwankwaso vote, Tinubu's vote is not half of it. With the rigging, that Yakubu needed to control for this criminal. So let you understand that they are still the minority. So it is APC must go revolution that it will be. Those bomber class, it is not saying that we're exterminating those children of the evil forest. If hunger does not kill them, Nigerians will pursue them. That is the only way forward. Because if you allow these people, no hope again. No. When Nigeria, please continue.
Yeah, APC must go. All right, quickly, we'll just start first of all, Mommy Bolanle. After Mommy Bolanle, I'll come to Gaboni, and then we'll take it from there. Welcome everybody to the space. If you're willing to, if you're on the speaker section, just ensure your hand is up so that we can call on you. Mommy Bolanle, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone from my side. Happy Thanksgiving Day for all of those. Oh my God, and now Kayla decides to call me. Kayla, I'm speaking. Leave me alone for a minute. Happy Happy Thanksgiving to all my American brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, and everyone else, right? When I looked at the topic, it took me back to 1986, because in 1986, when Nigeria stopped being just a observer with the OIC, Babangida had then entered us into full membership. And I remember having a conversation with my stepdad, our neighbor, and my mom, and we went round and round and round and was like, surely this goes against our constitution. Our constitution says we're a secular nation, right? Why would we this? And I remember then the argument was, oh, how did we even get to be an observer? They said it was Gowon that did it at the time during the Biafra War. He was from the 80s, and then the 90s, Christians started being killed in the Middle Belt, but it wasn't a national discussion. People kind of shied away from talking about it, because religion to people is a sensitive topic. So I mean, I'd left Nigeria at the late 80s anyway, and I haven't had any conversation. So when I saw this thing the other day that Saddam said, I was like, what? Right. Everyone has tried to argue that, oh, it's nothing, it doesn't mean anything, blah blah blah, but actually it does. It does, because here's the thing: we already have a dual kind of legal framework where a number of states have Sharia law. That's what they wanted. And I remember Obasanjo saying, if he doesn't give it, it will become an issue. If he gives it, after a while it will fizzle out. And I guess to certain degrees, some states are still very much using it. For the penal code, jurisprudence generally, and some maybe not as much, right? But when I saw that, and I see this evil Britain, right, that are the reason why we are in the mess that we are right now, right? They are still trying to create more issues, because these people, fine, I know some years ago there was a committee, I can't remember whether it was House of Lords or something, where they were talking about the increase in Christians being killed, and there was a bit of a conversation around it. But there was a bit of a conversation. It didn't go anywhere. They didn't compel the Nigerian government to do anything differently. They didn't compel them to safeguard the lives of people in the Middle Belt where this killing was happening, right? And now we've seen with this Muslim ticket, we are at a point where people are not talking. Nigerian Northern Muslims are not talking about those being killed in Nigeria, talking about people being killed in this Israel thing. And I keep on saying to myself that what has been allowed to grow is what is going to end up consuming us as a country, because we're kind of evenly, if only we had a proper population census, not one that they pad figures, right? We're still kind of equally balanced in terms of Christian, Muslim, with then other, traditionalists and what have you, but Christian, Muslim being the main ones, right? So why should we be seen as a Muslim country? It doesn't make sense to me. But I dare say we kick up as the people I would hold responsible are our Christian leaders, because I don't know if the reverse was the case and we joined one Christian organization. I trust my Muslim mullahs and afars and all the rest of it. They will cry. They will make it a big issue. They will insist, and Nigeria will withdraw from it. But this is not about, this is not to denigrate any sort of Muslim brothers or sisters. No, don't get it wrong. What I'm saying is, if we want a country, right, that it's already hard, right, we don't need that. We just don't need that. But the ones that can speak out for us are quiet. I mean, they're not speaking out for the people who are dying constantly in the Middle Belt, right? When the pockets of it, when it came to the Southwest, when it happened, how much talk did they talk? After a while, the people that have dead have gone. Those that are left with the pains, there's nobody who's kind of remembering it. And it's only during these political discourses that we have that we refer to it, and more so when we were saying it is very dangerous for them to do this Muslim ticket. But hey, what do I know? But I just feel like, you see, right, because of all the other factors, right, that are going on in the country, the increasing poverty, right, this injustice, the judiciary, all of that, right? Nigeria is set to explode. How it will happen, what will be the catalyst that will spark that final flame, right? I don't know what it is, but I kind of, when I pray these days, right, it's not about blessing Nigeria, because Nigeria is blessed. We just have horrible leaders. It's about, Lord, do not let something come up that will consume us, where there will be so many innocent people that will die as a result of this madness, of this madness that our leaders have led us into. And I said I was on Steve's space yesterday, and it was interesting hearing the takes from our brothers across the aisle in the north. You know, Steve did, tried really well to steer the conversation on who did what, who didn't come, who didn't cry, who didn't join the protest in the south, and what have you. And the general idea is, look, we can be emotional about these things, but things cannot continue the way they are, right? And the only way we are going to get Nigeria back is if the North and the South, right, forget about the differences like that the politicians use to divide us, but we focus on the fact that we're all Nigerians, whether we like it or not, whether we like the fact that Lord Lugard amalgamated Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. Well, that if we're not in agreement. So when they are crying there, forget the fact that they have in the north, forget the fact that we have not, they didn't join us to cry in the south. Encourage them. Everyone has had injustice in Nigeria back. Let us decide right now that the politicians, we will not be pawns, right, in the chess game, right? What we need to do is unite.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balanle. For Europe, some of all these Oyibo countries, they got tribal culture. They say, now going to try to do the. So, all right, quickly, we just take Gabon. After Gabon, I know Harry. Time.
Sincerely, I think this is something as good as being dead. Most of our religious leaders are selfish and they don't care about the body of, they don't care about it. Because if they care, right from the beginning, because the canon law is not being enforced on anybody in this country. The canon law of the Catholic Church or the laws of the Bible are not Christians in the north. We have Christians in the south. We have Muslims in the north. We have Muslims in the south. The Muslims in the south are not being forced to obey the king. Not just start from the Muslim ticket. This to show that fish self-trust in you, and you understand the ways of God. When you see something that is not of the spirit, you will know that this is not of the spirit. Most of your religious parts, they are not of the spirit. There are some things. See, why were the disciples called Christians in Antioch? It was because people saw them and said, these people are behaving like Christ. Most of them don't behave like. And that is one of the reasons why the church in Nigeria is falling. And from the judiciary, that's the problem. And it don't go start from the judiciary already, because what the judiciary are trying, what they are doing. Because right now, it don't reach neck. I saw a tweet from Jackson today that they will take Nasarawa, which they've done. They will take Plateau, which they've done, and they're going to take Delta State. Look at what happened in Imo State. They will still want to take so now APC can decide to take any state. Now they will still want to carry their craze.
Redress in this place, and justice will be, no matter how they will try to hide it. So what we are practicing in Nigeria currently is not longer, we don't practice democracy anymore. We are currently practicing judiciocracy, what I call judiciocracy, where judges elect executives for 200 million Nigerians. They are the ones that decide, for 200 million Nigerians. Do you know what that means? Judges are like every other Nigerian. They are not not greater than any Nigerian. In the Constitution, in the first paragraph of the Constitution, it said sovereignty belongs to the people. Sovereignty does not belong to the president. Sovereignty does not belong to a judge. Sovereignty does not belong to any single individual. It said sovereignty belongs to the people. That statement is the most powerful statement in the Constitution. It's the most powerful statement in the Constitution. But we now see a situation where a group of 3 or 5 judges will now decide the fate of 200 million Nigerians. That is a catastrophe, and that is a catastrophe that should not be taken for granted. So what we are currently practicing is judiciocracy, and we want, I wish we can trend the hashtag of say no to judiciocracy, because that is what is currently happening in Nigeria. The judiciary decides our election for us, which is an anomaly that must be stopped. So that is what I said, and that is what we must rise up against. Then the last one concerning the Islamic Nigerian being an Islamic state. For me, I don't really give a damn if they want if the country wants to be made an Islamic state or it's already an Islamic state. So be it, because the churches, the pastors are not speaking up against this anomaly. So if they want to take the food out of their table, that's good for them. It's none of my business. So for them, I rest my case. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. F. Young. Omo, you can't really talk, we go touch me so because I need because also one thing that Prof. Odinkalu said in that space that day. So what has happened now is that judiciary don't test blood. They don't want free am. Do you know what it means? I think in the part I played, we all heard it. I didn't even know that. Like, there was a senator that did 3 terms without winning election. God. God. I think there's a problem. Because that's do you know what it means to say? I mean, going forward on that aspect, I think it was this place where he said something that some of us even thought, is okay. That the concept of wasted votes, the damage that have been done to this country in only reset. Only just press reset, factory settings. Now we are waiting for because there's a lot of damage that have been done internally and all that. So it's why, like I said earlier, I'm personally glad that we're starting to have these conversations. All right, quickly, I'll just go straight to Call Me Lexi. After Call Me Lexi, I'll come to Abba Yomi.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, my fellow violencer. Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, obedience. Wherever you might be listening, it's always another pleasure to be here again, standing on all existing protocol. Honestly, I have said it several times. The past 8 years of APC has been hell for Nigerians. But we think it was a joke when some of us took it upon ourselves that we don't want APC again. They thought we are mad. When they are selling bigotry, tribalism, we found a principal who is talking to us the way we should go, who is telling us the right thing to do, who is telling us one word we should take back our country. It is our future they are toying with. That is the man we found ourselves in. That is the man we believe our future with. I said this is the man I wanted to vote for. They are selling bigotry to me. Is that not madness? All these Agbaya people, all those who are useless. I didn't come to this world to come and suffer, to come and fight a battle I don't know nothing about. You try to brainwash me that the only solution is praying. And I committed myself to that praying for the past 8 years of Buhari. The time to fast, we fasted, thinking the only solution right now is God to help us. For God to now answer our prayer, now to give us another Pro Max. Pro Max. The most corrupt man don't let me say in Nigeria, the most complicated man in Nigeria. And God has answered our prayer and give us that man. No, it's not possible. It is not. And thank God Peter Obi came out. It is glaring. You are teaching us civil education, but you are not civil as our elders. You are preaching to us about holiness in the church, but outside the church, you are supporting a drug baron. How are these related? Tell me. I love what is going on right now in the country. The reality is everybody is suffering. And every time I have opportunity to go out there, I always tell it is one thing that will unite us. And it let anybody deceive you that they didn't know that Peter Obi won this election. It is so audible. It is so audible to the deaf and clearing. Everybody see it. We all know. But it is good that it is going. Maybe they say it is him they want. They fight it. See what is going on in Nasarawa. See what APC are doing to everyone. That is what is called oppressor. That's what oppressor did. They will keep on taking from you, taking from you, taking from you. When are we going to stand up as a Nigerian to fight our battles ourselves? Judiciary have turned themselves to, we don't even have names for them. Today you will hear they call them Ashewo. Today you will hear, tomorrow you will hear they call them Olosho. Tomorrow you will hear them, they call them corrupt people. Is it me? Some set of people just sat down in their corner and upturned the decision of Nigeria. And Nigeria mad to vote the most corrupt man in the land. They upturned it, and you want me to go and sit down and be kneeling and be praying for God to do what? I posted something on our last space. I said it. Despite the fact that they didn't allow one single billboard of Peter Obi in Lagos State. I'm somebody who understand pains when people talk or write tweets, even when I'm not there. DRV, he wrote a tweet. I saw pain in that tweet. That it is money we are using to paste all these things. It is money we use to print all this billboard. I saw the pain in him. But you destroy everything. But guess who won that state? Guess who won it on a landslide? And you want me to believe that this man didn't win it? You want anybody to tell me before I take back my country? It is the least you guys can do. Give me back my country and let me have peace. For how long will I keep fighting battles I know nothing about? I want to have peace for the rest of my life too. I can see your hand right me in Nigeria, please. If they like, they should turn the country upside down to Islamic. Maybe the pastors are there. Alala, if they sweet us, make we they look am. Maybe they will tell us to pray, Abi, that they have turned it to, we should go and be praying, right? Time will tell. I love what is going on in Nasarawa. I love what is going on in Kano. That is why.
It was, I know someone mentioned Nasarawa earlier. I just thought, okay, maybe, it's out of the suspicion. I mean, I'm even rarely online these days. It's now like, Comilex mentioned it again. And like, what are people talking about? Say, I know say, okay, we don't suspect they go do them. They're not done officially. I'm like, okay, let me do it. Google search. Type in Nasarawa and appeal. And I'm seeing the headline that, oh God. Man, quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. All right. We'll just go straight to Abayomi. After Abayomi, I'll come to Senwe. Mind game, I can see you. Stay here today. Not sleep. I know after you don't go shout for boss, you can't sleep because the cashew. Anyway, no sleep. You are one of, you are ambassador of spreading the gospel. All right. Let's quickly take Abayomi, after which we'll come to Sarah.
Thank you so much, Mini. Thank you for the opportunity. Greetings, everyone. Call me Lexi. You said something earlier, like you didn't want to say Tinubu is the worst person, most craziest criminal on earth. Facts based, with religion to churches on Sunday, and they will hear the same thing. 500,000 graduates. Out of the jobs, probably most of them will spend whatever they are earning on transportation and all that, and at the end of the month they have nothing to survive. And they go to church and you have their pastors telling them to keep praying. It's even in the Bible. Praying without work. It's pointless. It's just stupidity. It's foolishness. And the problem is, I think there's a whole lot of religious hypocrisy inside the church where you they scream your lungs out for jobs. Where jobs where you say how you take sure say the job go reach you 500 to 50,000. Your
I pray the church actually wakes. A few ministers have always said the truth is the Bible has warned us about these things. The end time is near. We are getting people will be saying that they are beled and they find. No, then they call God themselves. God no need to call from people. Then they call God. They go God tell and say, you don't come in now. So let's not follow blindly. Let's know the word of God for ourselves. So we'll stop blaming. I'm tired of us waiting for a church to tell us do this. Nah, that's not who we are. Me, my own is to radicalize people and tell people, see, you don't know who you are in Christ. Christ has not called you to be that person that just keeps sitting down and saying, hey, anything you want to do, do. God will judge you. David was one person that once Wahala said, he go fight in Wahala. Eventually, God said, no, he built temple. But the fact is that he cleared the road for others to come and live those. This is a call to everybody to know that we are not supposed to be beggarly in our own countries. So, candidates involved. It doesn't work like that because the truth is, they know that they want to work against judiciary. If we can get that judiciary to work, we would not have any issues. Just like that, know the houses and the things where these people get. So at the day where you go direct them, just direct the message. The email must go directly to who you are sending it to. Don't be send bulk SMS to the wrong people. Direct admonishing someone, telling person, choose Peter Obi. He said, no, forget, they're all the same. 1 year after, she's complaining, things once, but I said, no, these are baby steps of pain. She's complaining again. But the truth is, Nigerians wake up. Whatever will wake them up, we will find out eventually. But Nigerians will wake up. Is Nigeria an Islamic state? I don't know. But God bless Nigeria and God bless you. God bless you and
All
have a
right.
wonderful night.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Totally agree with you. All right, quickly, we'll just go straight to
Obedience, like I said, is to go out every day and make sure I do my civic duty. My civic duty is my duty. So if I anger you, if he vex you, if he piss you off, you take the anger that you are suffering. Talking to me anyhow doesn't change the fact that you are in tears, premium tears. Ha! It just sweet me. Beating me does not change the fact that me and you in the same boat. Just say me, I choose one right leader, you choose Mumu because you are daft. If we need you to be hungry so that your brain will reset, oh my Lord, oh my joy. I would twist every single ounce of joy out of jugular. I go, so any you. She go fight you. In fact, the blind I go change my channel to women so that they go out the first word for this country. You go hear word. Hunger will reset your brain. We will be here sipping coffee like I was looking for my lighter. I couldn't find it. You know what I do these days? I'll just sit down, roll up my blunt, and I will smoke. Bro, are they hungry? Oh, make another time I'm not hungry. Oh. But when I do with my chilling smoke, I roll up, and I just screw Twitter space. They go Instagram, they see premium tears everywhere. They cry up and down and say, "Oh Lord, have mercy! This is football made in heaven." You know, say no one gets sense. If they let me say Nigeria, Northern State, we think concern me. Look, I was aware that now that time nine church no say they go to give offering via transfer. Useless, wicked, greedy people. When I see they sing say church for Niger, get in the back. We wanna continue, no problem. Continue giving your tithes, continue giving your time, continue wasting your energy there. They will be collecting and collecting. Have you heard any church come and say, Pim? That's to tell you who they are and what they are. The other day when I give somebody points, hey, brother, I know they see you for church again. I said, I understand. What thing concern me concern church? When I defined all the misery where they go for church, say, what thing the church don't do for us so far? Waiting, tell me one thing. How many of the churches have come to speak up? I respect Father Mbaka because that man will send you. They tell you as he be water. That's the only man that I can say I respect because he go tell you as he be. You like making a fuck up. Father Mbaka go tell you, you dey fuck up. There is it. The rest of the church people, I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't send them. They don't send me. But for Nigerian people, no one gets sense. Like swear, alarm go they flog you every day for head. Who whopper? You go come out, You go cry. See, I say suffer. All of them they waste my time. When I go, see, when you go out every day, take joy in making other people misery. See, don't take it like say, make people misery. See, they must come out. When you frustrate them, if I see, you don't get language, you don't get barrier, all of us go suffer, suffer. Sure, I don't want to. But this fight where they fight that all together. I don't know say be Christian. I don't know say be Yoruba. You be Bende. All of us come together to fight this fight. So see, let me tell you a key point prayer that you should be praying every day in your life. Now, because of what I pray, I say, God of heaven, harden the heart of the judiciary, harden the heart of Buhari, Abi Turumbu, we call. No be, I don't want men they do half big. No, please, God, harden their heart. As they shout Tunumbu, they boss, they put too big for mouth. Show them pepper. As they shout House of Assembly, pray for God to give them the hardened heart. I don't pastor like this. Everywhere I go, they preach. They say, preach, preacher. And they pray in misery. It gives me joy. In fact, this is another feel hunger. I say, when I just, if hunger they catch me, guess what? I go open Instagram, I go open Twitter. Or when I see premium tears, or my hunger don't go. That virus go spread, reach the whole country. They will wake up by fire, by force. See, harden the heart, oh Lord God. See the way you harden the heart of Pharaoh, harden the heart of Buhari, Abitunubu, and the Senate and the judiciary. Harden their heart, oh Lord. Make them the pepper Nigeria. Let them understand that she you no get sense, you must get sense by force. She fella say she suffer no they tire now. Yeah, you know they tire now. No, this one go tire now by force. I have come to preach the gospels. When I no one get sense. Don't worry. I go make sure say if that revelation will come outside, we will come fight. Because me, I realize if not die, I go die. I go die tomorrow. If not die, I go die next tomorrow. My family don't die because of this stupid country. There's no time I don't talk about it. Do you understand? So if I will die for Nigeria to better, bro, I go do my part. Because my own brothers, not be capping, they gave their life for this country. So if I join sword to give my life for this country, the country must better. But first of all, I must anger you. The anger never reach yet, bro. No back say it pain you say, it sweets me. When I go off, I go they laugh. That slap not even enter myself. The fact say it pain you. You go out, go reason your life, go think your life, go think your destiny, go think your future. Because where I go tell you like this, I go to tell you they laugh you. Hunger won't kill you, Shay. Nothing you they would. You go one die. No worry, I leave it here. Just sit down, I beg. Sorry, see, last time I don't call, I beg, no vex. But una go quarter. Oh, don't worry. I did for now. This country, nothing.
Oh, man, good. Oh, you laugh, Kitty. I mean, as funny as what Megan said is, I mean, if you look at it well, like, just try to think seriously from a perspective, it's true. I don't, because all this half-baked, I said this thing during, so during the governorship election, people that I spoke to, and the people were going to because at that point, I kind of knew already that, okay, the chances of, any other way out of this is going to be check. I was looking at Kanu. I desperately wanted APC to read Kanu. It's why this part route that I tweeted about this some days back. APC has mastered the act. This slavery, you see this slavery that they put Nigeria into. I will be very frank with you. APC has mastered the act of doing it. They mastered the act. Of course, it's not a good thing that you say, oh, they're happy about, but it's that you say it's a compliment. But I give it to them that this act of slavery, APC, I don't know if they say they are bad at it. And when I say bad, they sabi the work. What happened in Kanu was live to fight another day. It is one reason why these guys are good. They are good in that space. I don't want to say, because there are some traps that in my mind I'm just hoping they will fall into. I'm hoping they fall into some of those traps. So I don't want to say may they not say, I believe this trap not true, may they not carry go there avoid that, may they fall inside. But the point is that APC have mastered this act. I was telling myself that the truth is that there was no way. Look at the state they are returning. Look, just think. You don't know that these are the states that we said that we, if not that, the Saddam was saying, some people talked about Abia State earlier. After the PPT judgment, some of the MMC guys here will bear me witness. One of the first questions I asked on our group was, is Abia State in court? That's the first question I asked. To be honest, I think it's a long throw. Of course, somewhere in my mind, I'm praying for the sake of Abia people. I think it's a long try. I'm just hoping they don't really think about it. Not because if they think about it, they can't do it too. I'm just hoping for the sake of my love for Abia people. He lost his state in the presidential election and eventually lost his state. They went for that state. They want to get it back. Adamu was, let them just win it first. Don't worry, we'll deal with it later. Because, so it was really, really, so, and eventually, Ganduje is the chairman of the party. So for Kano people, it will be difficult. It will be very difficult for this current APC that have the judiciary in their pocket to say the chairman of the party is not the owner of the state of the chairman of the party. So APC is they anything you get, to be honest, I said this some time back, it sounds harsh, it sounds like, oh, I beg you. But what you have now in Nigeria, I said, in Nigeria now, there are two governors in another, because technically, Rivers State is an APC state. So they will not go after all those states that, oh, the governors are with. So what will eventually happen? So when we talk about one party system, some people think that, oh, it means APC will be the governor of 36 with all this Islamic. They twist the arm of every politician in Nigeria in such a way that the best you can be is you are in another party but loyal to APC. That's the least you can be. So, for example, Alex Otio. So that as mind game, they make people they verse. They go show them videos of countries that have risen up, countries that have revolted. Show them to be honest, the kind of documentary I'm looking for is very simple. It's probably up to 2 minutes. It's a documentary that shows how just a combination of videos of how the country was, then at the middle, what the country did, and after how the country became. So when you go just play person before, the people rose up after. So that because they rewire Nigerians. I mean, Nigerians need rewiring. Now, why I like what mind game they do. They do rewire, a very strong rewiring of the mentality. That's what we really need. And like I say, hunger is I really hope it gets us there fast. Mind game is just making it go faster. Thank you very much, mind game. Quickly, let's go straight to Temp. After Temp, we'll come to Tosin. And we'll take it from there. Temp, go ahead, sorry.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's been a pleasure listening on the space. There was something that when we were talking about the incident that happened in Kano, and I was hearing people talk about and say trying to plead, to send a plea to people for us to support them and all that and blah blah blah. And I asked myself a question: if I am an obedient, was I wanting to be an obedient because for Nigeria to work without making sure or having a possibility of a better interaction with our brothers in the north? So we have to reach out to them. We have to reach out to them. Because you see this joke where mind game just give now. There is something that he missed out. Listen, guys, and I'm going to say this to any person, and I know there are very few of them that actually casted Tom printed on Tinubu's presidency. I know that there are very few, but if you did that, I want you to go and watch this movie, Gotham. A place where crime rules, a place where criminality rules. It destroys everything in its path. Gotham was so bad that you are not guaranteed the next second outside. And we see what's happening in Nigeria these days. Police officers are now fighting with army, navy with this officer. It is becoming too rampant. Crime is committed in broad daylight by the elite, as they call themselves. And we are now, it is now becoming, it will get to a point that it becomes a normal occurrence. Just like, in Nigeria, when you see somebody, when you see a corpse, you just walk away. That's it. It's normal in Nigeria. But the evil that is going to be melted on Nigerians, if we sit back and do not use this opportunity, they are brothers. That's better Nigeria that Peter Obi told us about. He had them in mind. So I think we should also have them in mind. Thanks for allowing me to speak. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you very much, Tim. I totally agree. I totally agree with you. The truth is that, like Tim said, there was no way. So, first of all, the kind of country I think we used to say, I used to jokingly say this back then, that if INEC had declared Peter Obi, first of all, so if Peter Obi was president now, funny enough, people that would have benefited most would probably be those that didn't support him. Like, but of course, the country benefit, but you see, these people, Peter Obi was coming for, because the people that are supporting these criminals are also the people that are the least of the least. Some of them for greed, some of them for outright ignorance, for different reasons. But Temp is right. We need to. I think that's part of the mindset shift. There's no revolution. There's no uprising in Nigeria that can happen. And that's why I was glad about what the space Mr. Steve hosted yesterday. You see a couple of people came, and I think they also love the fact that they heard Southerners saying they were going to support them for good governance, and so I think it's all these small conversations. You can just say very few people now, they know many, but that's how it is. It transfers, it transmits. Everybody starts to take it from there, and let's help change that narrative. All right, quickly, we are just going to go straight to. I'm going to play the video of the interview with Okutepa yesterday. I'm going to play. It's relatively long, including the question and everything he said. Everything he said, even though he was speaking as a lawyer, so he was speaking, as a. It's not very easy to speak in Nigeria as a, you are still a lawyer in court. You still go to court. So he was avoiding landmines, but even at that, he said it just the way he was supposed to say it. So I think I'll play it at some point for those that have heard it, to hear it again, and for those that have not heard it to hear it, because sometimes I'm sure some of us don't really go back to play some of all these things. We hear them from spaces like this, and it's sometimes helpful. All right, but for now, we'll just quickly take. So I'll take Tosin, and I'll take Tosin, then Harry, and before we'll play the video. I'll see if I can maybe skip some of the places, but there's probably almost nothing to skip, to be honest. But all right, quickly, let's take Tosin.
Thank you. Well, Saddam, Jimmy, Moimbolanle, everyone on the space today. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Hopefully, you can hear me clearly. And to those in America, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you enjoy your turkey and have a wonderful day. To the topic today, judicial rascality. I mean, it is that today. It's just that they have amplified their rascality and then their evil to their fellow human. Because I believe that for them to have even been on that bench in the first place is to actually give hope to the common man. But today you go to the court and there's no hope, and you go back home and you're just miserable. And I think it's leading to the point where one of the attorney for my president, His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory, said after the tribunal, and I think he may also, that with the way the judiciary is going, it will result in a time where people will now begin to seek self-help. And it's getting to that point. And I can't actually wait for it to actually implode and explode, because for me, I think the time is now. Thank God for the people in Kano, even though we may think otherwise, maybe in some areas. But I mean, for me, thank God for the people in Kano and then people in Plateau. I think Plateau also they are doing probably also doing the same thing because it is high time that Nigeria needs a reset. And I think mine's women you actually captured it very well. Nigeria needs to be rewired, rewiring. I know in those days, if your fan gets spoiled, they take it to a rewire. If the copper wire maybe probably blow up, they take it to the rewire and then they rewire the coil and then put things right. So Nigeria is due for that, and it is going to happen not too soon, or maybe not too far from now. And I will. It will start from the judiciary because I think with what all Nekalu is doing, he's doing a very great work. And I think with what he's doing, most of them are not coming out to speak, either for them to want to justify themselves or to probably, now seek the pity of the Nigerian people. But the harm and the damage has been done. And so Nigeria needs to reset, and that reset needs to start from the judiciary because these men, they are evil, they are satanic, and they are diabolic. They don't care about what people are going through. They don't care about the 200 million Nigerians. They only care about themselves, their stomach, and their family. Because what do you think about having a 30-something year old, a 30 years old um, person on the bench, and then you have people that have experience, people that are qualified, people that have the knowledge, the technical know-how, and then now they are bringing their family to come sit on the bench to give them what they want. But I can't wait for the implosion and then the explosion to happen from there. Then when it comes to Nigeria as Islamic State, now sometimes we talk about the Mumu Moti like I see is something we make fun of it or make jest of it. But for me, it is something that we need to critically look into because if you think about Turkey, how they wipe out, people from their own land and just take over the place will be shocking to me. And this is where spiritual leaders need now to be held accountable. And so for me and you on this space today, how often do you even question the people that sit as spiritual leaders? Maybe we even take this to the church and start questioning them because most of them have been sold to mammon. They're actually serving mammon. It is only in Nigeria you see where they destroy factories, they demolish factories, turn the factories to church, and then praying to God to give them job. I never seen that kind of thing before. You destroy factory, you send GlaxoSmithKline to leave Nigeria. Now that factory, maybe the likes of Unilever, Nigerian Bottling Company, that shut down, those landed property will be sold to churches. They kill the factories, the looters, the killers, they steal money, destroy factories, no work for the youth. They turn them to church, turn them to mosque, and then they will pray, oh God, give us. Now Islamic State, what do you say, Sir Pastor? What's your take? When are you going to speak out against this impunity that we are seeing in government? When they want to campaign, they came to the church. They were seeking your validation. Now election is over. It is time to govern the people. They are investing the money. Are you holding them accountable? That the pastor, that the GO, Mommy GO, Dickness, Deacon, are you holding these men that came to this church to come campaign? How are you holding them accountable? You can ask them in your workers' meeting. You can ask them in your end of the year party that you'll be doing in December. Ask your pastors questions about what you are doing. For me, I think so. The call for revolution. There's no other time for Nigerians for revolution to happen than now. It is now. Revolution, 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 revolution. Tinubu is not our president. We don't know him. Tinubu is a criminal, is a drug baron. He has to leave. And let me ask Saddam, Jimmy, thank you guys for the last for Tuesday's space. The way you guys handle matters, it just makes me to pray for you guys. Wisdom continue to dwell on you guys.
Women continue. So because sometimes these chats they ask questions like this the guy the best way sometimes. All right, quickly. Let's go straight to Harry. That's Harry 05, not receipt Harry.
I become the fear. Be like, how many times you won't give me mic?
Hey, Are you fine?
Yeah, good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, Emir Saddam. Well meaning. Yeah, good evening, my brother Jimmy. I wish you happy Thanksgiving and your family. Good evening, Mommy Bonanle. I just why I took the mic is because of this Muslim this Islamic stuff. You know, I remember yesterday in Stephen's space, Stephen asked a question. Stephen was like, he was bashing us in the South that look at Kanu people are coming out, to protest and all that. That look at Imo State, they stole your election. You guys could not do anything. You guys could not protest. I remember vividly in that space yesterday when they gave one of the speakers, the wins like that protested in Kanu. When they gave one of them the mic, the guy said something, and that thing struck me. He said that they called them for prayer. They called them for prayer in the mosque. After them, that was the protest we saw. Now, we didn't know what they really told them, but I believe something happened when they went to pray. And I told Steve something. I said, look at the Imo State election. After the rubbish Opusodima did, on Sunday, Opusodima went to a church, a so-called priest, allowed that man to kneel before him and give thanksgiving. And then something struck me, and I said, see, one of the problems why you see South, especially from this side, people are docile. The church is one of the problems we are having. The church is one of the problems. You see this general overseers, most of them, I'm privileged to know some things concerning what they do and the connection they have with these Nigerian politicians. These men of God don't love the souls they claim, according to them, they are their own. They don't win any souls. They are just there for the money of these people. They are just there to build empire. They are not after the president. None of them will speak. It's a reflection of the kind of church they have been doing in Nigeria. That church does not represent Christ, does not represent Jesus. And I've been calling out my brethren, even my family, that see, these people, they are not there for your soul. They are not preaching the true word of God. Go and carry your Bible. I just want to beg my fellow Nigerians, please stop listening to these people. The Bible is there. Carry your Bible and read. You will know the people you are dealing with. They are called sheep, wolf in sheep clothing. They are just there to build an empire for themselves. And I believe God has exposed them that He's not with them anymore. That's why you see they don't have any voice to speak anymore. Finally, I believe God is going to take us out of this mess. But God is taking us through a process in Nigeria to prove to us that these people are deceptive. God is doing a total cleansing, and He cannot leave His church unattended. That is why He's showing to us that these people are not for Him. Revolution call. Nigeria, my fellow Nigerians, please deafen your ears to any promises of hope that these men of God are giving to you. Prophesying here and there. These are the same people who could not see COVID come. But I remember that year they prophesied heaven and earth for the year 2020, but none of them could tell that what is coming. It shows you that they don't hear God. Shut your ears to them. Get out in the streets. Save your country. Save your nation. Prayer won't do that for you. God has given you brain. God has given you breath. God has given you life. The savior of this nation is in your hand. It's not in any man. If you are waiting for this, your general overseers, they will do nothing because they have nothing to offer. Because they want Nigeria to be the way Nigeria is, so that you continue to bring your tithe and offering to them. So that you continue to remain poor, and they are the ones getting rich, using your tithe and offering to buy private jet and build schools. Their children are going to the best schools and the rest. They build university that your children cannot afford. All these things are all linking together. So please, I want to beg you, come out, my Christian brothers and sisters. If you say you are a Christian, come out and fight for your nation. Let's come out of the street and revolt against this evil happening. Stop listening to any man promising you anything, because there's nothing they are going to do for you. There's nothing God is going to do for you. God has given you the power to save your nation. Thank you very much. I yield my mic.
Unfortunate situation that the judiciary, that is the arm of government that have been given onerous responsibility and grievous responsibility of stabilizing democracy, appears, with respect, that some of the decisions have created more roadblocks for those who lost election to prove the allegations in the petition. And I must commend Parliament because following the outcry of Nigerians that the election petitions are difficult to prove, Parliament introduced 7 of the Electoral Act. There is obvious non-compliance in the face of the documents. Then you can look at the document and make pronouncements. But the insistence of our area becomes sacrosanct in determining the credibility and the integrity of election. For the court to say that Beavers plays no significant role until you have gone through the processes and that you can recognize the importance of it got to a level that an institution that was in disobedience to series of court orders, mark you, subpoena, is an orders of court. Institution that was not respecting court order got a pat on the back by no single sentence, either in the Court of Appeal or in the Supreme Court, condemning that attitude. Indeed, the referee became more of an attack in the field of litigation statement along with the petition. I do not think that is possible. Are we saying that if I needed a document from INEC, it makes it so difficult and uphill task
Impossible,
that it was, to use the language of one of my famous professions, it was impossible. It was impossible. It could not, because the document that we needed to have, indeed, you may recall that even the demand for payments of CTC of documents became so outrageous. We reported it. But that the decision of the court is the decision of court. But Nigerians,
when you say demand for payment, what do you mean?
Charles, if truth be told, Nigerians will need to interrogate the process of getting certified through copies of documents.
Right.
So do we have remedies for public officials who have responsibility to do what they needed to do, not to engage in commercial ventures in the performance of that their function?
And this was coming from INEC rather than from the judiciary.
Well, look, judiciary does not give documents. Judiciary issues order.
No, I mean the demand for inducements. That you're
I wouldn't use the word inducement. It's too high.
Right.
I mean, the hard is something. But it was a system that was difficult for you to overcome.
Right.
Because if you cannot get, you will not get.
Right. So in that context, what reforms would you recommend, both for the judiciary and for INEC? And do you see INEC as independent?
How can? There is no independent institution in Nigeria. In practical reality, anybody who tells you that INEC is independent would have, that's a story that you can tell to infants in Tale by Moonlight. In practical reality, no. Because there are some things that happens that shouldn't happen for an institution that is independent. When we talk about independence of institution, not in Nigeria, because there is no loyalty to the Federal Republic of Nigeria by those who have responsibility to hold to give loyalty to Nigeria. The loyalty is either those in power or those who have the capacity to detect the tune of what you are supposed to do, popularly come to be regarded in Nigeria now as the cabals. There are cabals in our electoral jurisprudence. There are cabals in so many of our institutions that they have no respect for what is called democracy. Because democracy in Nigeria, for instance, is not a product of the sovereignty of the people. If it were so, we would have not had what we are having. INEC is more, and when I say INEC, I mean the staff, some of the staff, not all, and only infinitesimal number of them, because the chairman of INEC, for instance, cannot be everywhere in the polling unit. Who did you recruit to go to the polling unit for purposes of conducting election? Do they obey the rules and regulations churned out by INEC itself? Are we holding them accountable? Who did? Because if you recruit a stupid person to perform a job for you, then he performed the job stupidly, you are held responsible for it. So that's one. Now, when you talk about reform, I think the reform that we need, because judiciary is an important arm of government, and it is only arm of government that is an exclusive preserve of the members of the noble profession of law, the legal profession. Because our qualification is not just ordinary school certificate or its equivalent. We went to university, went to law school, we had code of conduct. There is, I will advocate for now, that both the both the member of the bar and the bench should have character reform. We must reform our character. We must have a defined goal. Do we want justice in Nigeria, or we want judgment devoid of justice? Because when you have the misfortunes to prosecute election petition, the attitude of some colleagues in the courtroom leave much to be desired. Secondly, I think that our recruitment process is faulty. We recruit people not on the basis of, in some cases, on the basis of what they know or their strength of character, but on the basis of connection. And for me, when appointment to the bench has become hereditary in terms of religious hereditary, biological hereditary, social hereditary, political affinity, then the judiciary will face a calamitous consequences, just like we are facing now. So for us to get it right and go back to the golden age, the lobbying to be made political class and the power that be must stop. Let us have men and women of strong character who cannot, because of a pot of porridge, or because of the color of naira, or because of the color of dollar, or because of the air-conditioned cushion home somewhere, or the flight ticket to go holiday in cozy environment in overseas, who will not sell their conscience and give questionable judgments that will undermine democracy. Because Nigerians are becoming very sophisticated. And let nobody tells me that the feelings of Nigerians on the street does not matter. We must be very careful. And I have said in one of the papers that I delivered on the 16th of this month, that if we are not careful, the first victims of uprising and anger and upset of Nigerians will be members of the legal profession. And in doing so, they will not discriminate between those of us who do not belong to the class of those who pollute the stream of justice and those who have taken it upon themselves and wear the garment as a conduit for which the stream of justice is polluted. And let me say this, justice is rooted in confidence. And when right-thinking members of the society go away saying that justice has been compromised, then that society is heading to a calamitous end, a revolution.
You've said a lot of things there, very, very powerful, very poignant. And I hope the right people are listening. A lot to address there. The Labour Party and P2B, you described Nigerian democracy as being on the way to the mortuary.
Yes, And I mean it. Because the way we are going, Charles, go to any of these political parties, begin with their primary. It is imposition. Election is imposition. And instead of those of us who have the responsibility in the department that have been exclusively reserved for the legal profession to hold this political class accountable, we seem to have allowed ourselves to be cowed, and you discovered that the greatest assets in darkness is light, and the legal profession represents light. But it appears to me that there is darkness in Nigeria and gross darkness, and that gross darkness appears to have even overshadowed the light of the noble profession. So much so now that people are debating judgments of their lordships. People are debating characters of lawyers. And the reasons are obvious. There are no consequences for misbehavior. When you go to United States of America, it got a point that Donald Trump almost found it difficult to have a lawyer because the lawyers who came out with theories that was anti-justice, right, were disciplined. In Nigeria today, you can see a lawyer advocating in one case that Charles is a woman. But tomorrow, the same lawyer will turn to argue that Charles is a man. In other civilized countries, when you engage in such chameleonistic jurisprudential advocacy, you are punished. How many, when I had the, let me not call misfortune, I prosecuted for the bar for 7.5 years. And the big fish are yet to be taken before the legal practitioner disciplinary committee. And the reason is very simple. I'm in support of the big fish going there. Right. But I'm not in support of taking the big fish to the social media for purposes of persecution. Because I am an advocate of due process and rule of law. Right. Okay. And when we jettison the rule of law, as it appears we are jettisoning today, because what we are doing in Nigeria is the rule of convenience, not the rule of law. Okay, that is why law in Nigeria knows who is big and who is not big. Okay, well, justice ought to be blind. Absolutely. But it appears to me that in some cases, not only that justice sees, he sees those he needs to see.
Right. On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed.
Good. Omo. All right. So I actually wanted to play it halfway, and but that was not it.
Well, meaning, did you hear that word? Chameleonistic attitude.
Do you know what that means? That word. Jimmy, is that, oh my God, do you know that during even this, where they were doing PPT, some state petitions, so that some lawyers are representing maybe Tinubu in the PPT, they are representing another candidate in the state petition. They will, in the same period, what he's even saying is that different time, if maybe at one point you've argued with one school of thought or one particular part of the law to defend your case, you can never cross if you now have a candidate somewhere else that maybe the opposite of that thing you did before is what that person needs in the case. You will not be able to. But in Nigeria, my God, as in the problem is there are some of the things that he said in the interview, which I think just buttress what some of us have been saying for a long time. It is why, if you notice, I have as in this is that people say that, oh, let's tell INEC to do, let's tell what's it called? I mean, it's good for me. Every country should be improving their law every year. Like you should do reform in your law, like change it, look at loopholes, fix it, and all that. So, but I don't think the problem, I've said this emphatically many times, the problem of 2023, both by INEC and the judiciary, wasn't the law. That's why if you notice at some point in this interview, he said he commended Parliament. So, as far as he's concerned, as a lawyer, as a senior advocate, the law that was available this time to do this election was sufficient. The problem was not the law. Then he said something else that I think we've ever said so many. For me, that was the most dangerous part of the judgment. As in, it was too dangerous. INEC left these judgments, or they usually leave this judgment untouched. He said there's not even one sentence, both at the Supreme Court or at the Appeal Court. Not one sentence. That's like the approval of the misbehavior. I really just hope sovereignty belongs to the people overall, and which is the problem. Nowadays, three people can. It's even if I want to run for election in Nigeria, I can try to save my money instead of doing too much campaign. If I think I'm in a party that is okay enough, save my money, pay some loyalty to APC stewards in my state that are loyal to Tinubu, pay judges. I become whatever I want to become, whether senator. That's what I need. I don't need to campaign to nobody, because at the end of the day, even if my opponent gets 1 million votes at the polling unit, all I need to do is 3 men seated at some court somewhere can make me whatever I want to become. It's too dangerous. Just too dangerous for a country of over 200 million people in a landmass of almost 1,000 kilometers square. Or more. We they play. Anyway, we'll just continue with our conversation as we gradually start to wind up. Please, if you know you're on the speaker section and you intend to speak, ensure your hand is up. While the next speaker is speaking, who is going to be Mr. Given, I'm going to be dropping those that their hands are not up so that we can bring those that...
Well, meaning Jimmy, Bolanle, and every other person. Okay, on the topics, actually, judiciary rascality. Listening to this interview right now, it's you be like, in fact, you just scream, you just go to scream. But the major thing, I've been screaming it right from time that it's pardoned. I was like begging people, me when I know they shout. Just me just leave out like so low key, because I've observed that throughout this campaign's session, we are basically just we are almost too loud. So anything we are doing, we're always talking about it. And looking at how these Abado people do, be like saying I envy they kill them. It's this kind of envy thing we do to this envy thing inside them. They just want to be stupid. So, but I believe that if somehow APC want to be stupid with this their rascality, and they try to do anything to Abia State, I feel that could be what might lead to this revolution call, because that I basically want to believe. I want to believe that, because there's no way after 24 years that other state governors have been the state governors of Abia State have been messed up. Alex now gets in and he's trying to do something, and then somebody will come and say PDP be saved throughout 1999. Now them do nonsense. He say me PDP come back again. I doubt that one. So I actually believe that's what could because I believe everybody would want to say no, go agree. And then for Kano State people, that energy they have, we actually need to support, because right now it's about the spirit of Nigeria, because the way it's going now, man, like, and when Mind Game was speaking, I was basically just laughing, because I have one of my colleagues in the office. The guy is one stupid person. Even if I saw his WhatsApp message where he was sending me a TikTok of Tinubu speaking, and Tinubu to him was speaking without reading anything out. But in my mind, I was like, there's somebody standing behind him. And from the campaigns where we saw that people were whispering in his ears, maybe that guy has a recorder or something that's playing what he's reading out, or speaking to them there. So, okay, what else? Okay, on Islamic State of Nigeria. Okay, sorry, I'll be real quick. On this the Islamic State of Nigeria, I've really been of that view that, I don't know, it's my own take though, that most countries I observed that have the green color on their flags, they're most likely um
I think we're even losing you, Mr.
Hi, well, meaning greetings to you. Emir Saddam, greetings to you. Jimmy, I greet Sizzle in Absential, Mambolanle, UC, Cindy Gold, everybody on the speaker section, listeners here on X, Facebook, YouTube, radio station, Nigerians and non-Nigerians listening all over the world. I greet you guys and thank you guys for this great opportunity to speak again. Talking about the Judiciary Rascality, Nigeria Islamic State, and Revolution Call. As for the Judicial Rascality, first I would say, we Nigerians say, we need to and start accepting, getting to know the reality on ground and start working with it. During the PEPT, one of the judge, he wanted to leave on a Friday, especially in Nigeria when we say true to God. When they just tell us, say true to God, we don't, as in everything when we did reason before, we don't drop them. This person no go feel lie to us because he no go feel use God name like that. That person, as I say true to God, you don't believe him. A man said he was going to Colorado. That's Islamic religion now. So let me go to the Christian part. A man said he was going to Colorado, and because of the snow there, that will be dangerous to his health, he was able to tell God, God, please take away that snow so that I can be there comfortably until I come back so that nothing happens to my health. This same person is a Nigerian based in Nigeria. Under your nose, your eyes, your wash, Nigerians and fellow humans like you are being slaughtered day in, day out. You cannot call this same God that delivered you from snow, not like you were going to be killed. You can't call this same God that delivered you from experiencing snow to pray and as in to stop the killings, the election rigging, the certificate forgers that we have as leaders right now that is making us go through what we're going through right now. You can't call God on behalf of your nation so that sanity can return. And when me now as a Christian decide to call out this person, one person as a Nigerian will come and tell me, why are you insulting him? Or why are you calling him out? Kinikon. We need to erase those mentalities from our heads. We need to understand that religion no make you today stupid. Religion is even supposed to make you to be more brilliant. If you watch this Jehovah Witness people recently, I just realized that David they came from the Jehovah Witness family. They are very brilliant. Those guys are so brilliant. That's exactly what religion is meant to make you be. But in our case as Nigerians, it don't turn us to stupidity. Somebody will tell you that you should do this, whereas he or herself will be doing something different, and still this person will come and be telling you, be believing you did die, so you go still the follower. So like seriously, we really need to clean our mentality from the rubbish we've learned. They will tell you as a Christian, a Muslim is an infidel. You as a Muslim, they will tell you a Christian is an infidel. But they that cause themselves are leaders, when they are sharing the money they stole, nobody talks about religion. Nobody talks about ethnicity. They unite and do whatever they are doing. So it is high time we tell ourselves the truth, because if we must move forward as a nation, we have to drop religiosity, we have to drop tribalism, we have to drop ethnicity, and know that first we are first humans. We are first humans. Anything someone will do to you that you don't like, do not do it to your neighbor. If we can come to that realization, then indeed we are ready to move forward. But until then, we are not ready to move forward. Talking about Nigeria being an Islamic state, OBJ some time ago said it. that there is a plot to Islamize Nigeria. When he said that, a lot of persons went at him, calling him all sort of names. But how he be now? How he be now? Is it not playing out right in our very own eyes? APC today, they want to turn the whole of Nigeria to one party state. If these guys know and understand what they are doing in that seat or on that seat, I won't have a problem. But it's obvious they have no single idea what to do to help the people. Imagine that guy whose dog was eating shawarma, full chicken. The dogs don't turn bony structure. You can look and count the ribs of the dog. That's the APC we're talking about today. And they want to clinch all the powers, all the seats in Nigeria. How do you want the people to survive? In our judiciary, 1 minute, I saw your hand. In the judiciary, who are supposed to be the last hope of the common man, have taken the money and they don't even care what the people are saying anymore. Olisa Takuba, one of the interview he had on Arise, when he talked about the whole process of the PEPT can take just 7 days, he said that UK politicians were once very, very corrupt for about a year. It took the judiciary to say, we are standing on our ground. This nonsense has to stop. If you rig election and you come here thinking we're going to help you, we will disappoint you. In the Hausa, UK, the elections and everything start coming out, going, and today their stories are different. But in a situation in Nigeria, I don't know if I should believe that man who said some of them are in court. But even if you're talking about court members and all that, the situation is biting on everybody. We all go to the same market, whether you are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. When you enter Nigeria, it is the same market you go to. They sell to you like they sell to every other Nigerians. So what is your problem? How much did they give you that you want to eat till thy kingdom come? Again, I'll end by saying, Nigerians, we have to start seeing ourselves first as humans. Throw away this tribalism nonsense, religious nonsense they are using to deceive us, and ethnicity nonsense. You are first a human. Know that anything you don't want anybody to do to you, do not do it to someone else. That's the only way we can move forward. Thank you so much, I yield. But before I go, please come to our prayer space on Sunday, 1:30. Thank you.
Okay? So, judges, now, the people used to be those who determined elections in Nigeria. Today, the votes of the people no longer matter. What do you need to win an election in Nigeria today? It is not the votes of the people counted or called by INEC. It is the votes of 2 judges out of 3, 3 judges out of 5, or 4 judges out of 7. That is all. And that means judges are fair game in politics. The judiciary has become fair game because they have expropriated what citizens should be doing. The role of judges and the judiciary in elections should be to hold a fair line and make the rules very clear. Okay? So the rules are determined and the outcomes are indeterminate. Today in Nigeria, the outcomes are determinate and the rules are indeterminate. Judges are making up things as they go along in order to prefer particular people, particular parties at particular times. So anyone and everyone here, please, I encourage you, politicize the judiciary, because that is the only way to get this thing right. The politicians have politicized the judiciary, and they are telling us to abide by rules that are no longer applicable to a politicized judiciary and to a corrupted judiciary, and to a judiciary that they have now decided to capture. That is why they are putting their daughters there, their sons, their mistresses. I keep talking about mistresses. And if anyone wants a private conversation and list of mistresses on judiciary, we will have that private conversation and I'll give you the full list of mistresses. The genitalization of this damned thing is really what drives me nuts. You can't do that and then expect me to be talking about judicial independence. That's like going to a freestyle wrestling match with both hands and both feet tied in chains. I will not do it. I yield.
I was not the one that gave the submission. I know you heard I yield. All right. So, I mean, I promised earlier that I'll probably be playing some excerpts from Mindset Space. When you listen to people that have done diggings on this, and I think Yusuf Maxwell, Yusuf Maxwell was also on that space. Let me give you people a news flash. Because, for every time I think I've gotten to one point, I see another new point. Not like I didn't even see this one. I just remembered now because Professor Odin Kalu mentioned it that day. Some days back I said that what some of us haven't really remembered, or you don't know yet, or it's not really in your mind yet, is that Yakubu Mahmoud's tenure as INEC president or as INEC chairman, right, is actually going to end 2025. So I think sometime next 2 years. Actually, I see a possibility, right, of before then Tinubu pulling a stunt. And I mean, so when it happens, you'll be like, that prophecy small. Pulling a stunt of probably sacking him or not allowing him complete the distance so that Nigerians can be like, oh, okay, Nigerians craved and he did it. But my point is that even if he doesn't do it, 2025, he likes it or not, he's going to leave. And guess what? The next INEC chairman is going to be appointed by Mr. Illegitimate. Have that in mind. Then, one thing that we also have forgotten, or that have not come to our mind, and this was what Professor said that day. I think sometime soon, maybe next year or next 2 years, the CJN, Ariwola, would have to resign. Guess who is in line to be the next CJN? Justice Kekere Ekun. So my own job is to be reminding you people, to tell you people how deep wahala, so that make it no say no, make people say we don't fair no. So the next in line, except anything nature happens, the next in line is Kekere Ekun. So can deal with that for a bit. All right, you see Maxwell. You see Maxwell have gone down, so now we have Maxwell. Maxwell, are you there?
Brother, even me myself, I know they even see myself again with the way they go. Emir Saddam, good evening to you. I celebrate you. Good evening to you, well-meaning Nigeria. Jimmy, my other brother, I celebrate you too. Good evening to everybody. I've been suffering from one kind weather they affect me actually due to my change of environment. I love the topic today. It's a very beautiful one, and I'm very much happy to speak this. Now, for most of the justices you see in the Supreme Court, their retirement age will last them up until 2028, 2029, and so on. So it means that the rot you have seen in the judiciary, in the Supreme Court, these judges that are up to being bribed, that they will be there till 2028. Why I'm calling 2028 is that you know that they must have done 2027 election for those of you who are waiting for 2027, so that you have it in mind. You see, somebody like Professor Chidi Odinkalu is somebody that I've come to appreciate so much. For one, he's not a person that comes out to the public to even say too much, but he knows so much. He's somebody that I've done background work as it relates to the judiciary. These are part of the things that we have been shouting for time immemorial. And I've always asked, why do we have the proliferation of the family members of judges in our justice system in Nigeria? There are other people who are justices who should have reached a much higher rank than the children of these people who they keep promoting against the normal and regular promotion circle. What we see in Kano State is a mess, is a mockery to Nigeria. People don't understand what is happening. That a court will pronounce judgment today and give well-meaning Nigeria the judgment. And when the document of the judgment comes out, the judgment is in favor of Emir Saddam. It is an affront on every rudiment, every parameters of justice. What you played from J.S. Okutekpa, he says that justice must be rooted in confidence, and confidence is destroyed when right-thinking minded people leave the court thinking that the judge was biased. I have been making this statement for a long time since we were in court. That statement was held in the case of, I think, Metropolitan Company Limited versus Lanon. If right-thinking minded people like you and I leave the courtroom believing that the judge was biased, what the justice in that case says is that indeed the judge was biased. So, right-thinking minded people should know what justice looks like. They should know what justice tastes like, and they should know what justice smells like. And we've always said that the judiciary is already gone. Is already gone. So I'm just calling on everybody. We still have a lot that we can do to wake it up. But let me stop there. Let me move to the next topic. It's been long I spoke on spaces. I'm still trying to learn how to again mix state. I am in a place currently where if I want to talk about this thing, I would even have to reduce my voice. Thank God I'm talking about it around 26 minutes past 11 p.m. Except you want to lie to yourself, no matter whom you serve, no matter the religion you pay allegiance to, you would believe that there is a calculated attempt to actually tilt the entire country towards one religion. I don't care whose ox is God. I went to a certain university. Let me tell you this story. I will write about it. I've been preparing to write about it. I want to live where I am before I write about it. I went to a certain university, well-meaning Nigeria. This university in the last 1 year, I'm telling you of a university, an institution of learning, has started from scratch and built to the roof level close to 4 mosques in that institution. But the educational halls do not have PR systems. There is no microphone, there is no speaker, there is no projecting item, absolutely nothing. They are only concentrated in creating religious centers for people to continue to be hoodwinked rather than teach them the basics of how to better the society. We are seeing it, and I tell you, except we become tolerant of our diversity, these problems will continue to persist. We must be tolerant of our diversity. I schooled in an institution where even if you are a Christian, you must tie an hair tie because that is what their religion says. In an institution of learning that is open to everybody. There are many other things I may not be able to say here today, but I think that what I'm going to say on this space tonight is to call each and every one of us back to our consciousness. If you are a traditionalist, I know why I'm referring to the traditionalists now, and you've continued to face this marginalization, you know you may not be able to speak because you feel that you are in the minority. But what is expected is that those who are in the minority should be given steps ahead so that those who are in the majority can be behind to still be able to catch up with those in the minority. So, what am I saying? Equal opportunities across tribes, equal opportunities across ethnicity, equal opportunities across religious differences. I like what is happening with Adanambra today. It gives me so much joy. I love the fact that Igbos have come out by themselves to point out to one of their own and say, hey, you are not worthy to speak to us. You are not worthy for us to hear your voice. We should be able to stand up as a people against every person, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of their religion, and to make sure that we tell them the truth. As for the issue of revolution, I see your hand, sir. It is already time. As far as I think the last straw was with the courts. They said that it was the last hope of the common man, but we've seen that that hope is now lost. So there's possibly no hope anymore in institutions of government, be it the executive, the legislature, or the judiciary. So we have ourselves. We should become brothers in arms. I've always said, if you are ready to come out, people are ready to join you. If you are ready to take back your country, people are ready to join you. Don't feel that it is only in your head that it is. It is in many other people's head. I know that we are sort of traumatized, but we need to wake up to the reality. Don't I had that speaker that I was talking to my friend. I said, where wanna go find this speaker? I get one guy will be a speaker where they laugh anyhow. Well, I don't know where wanna go find that guy. But I just want to tell us that we should not wait till hunger kill us before we hit the streets or before we take back our country. Thank you very much to everybody. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you, you see, Maxwell. Thank you very much, bro. That was, I mean, that was a good submission. It's crazy what happened, but I totally agree with you. We need to, our tolerance level needs to be up. All right, quickly, I'll just take. Okay, I'll go to Mami Water. Mami Water, you have been here for a long time. Let's say you know, be doing Mami Watasha. After which, I'll go to Office of the Citizen. Please, you want to speak and show your hand is up at this point. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mami Water.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Hold on, Mami Water. So now, what you have? Your phone carry you go where you don't know. Mami Water,
No,
go
my
ahead.
other phone be my other phone updates.
Maybe he was trying to.
Saddam,
Maybe he was trying
Saddam,
to give me
Saddam is
background
watching
music.
Italy Super eating. He's not concentrating again. He's not concentrating.
Jimmy just the fuck up. I go soon block Jimmy, I swear.
Go ahead, Mami Water. It's so weird
Thank
calling
you.
you. Oh, I love you this.
Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to the Americans, and it's a good evening to Nigerians. To be honest, well-meaning. This is the first time that I'm speaking on any space at all, and I think maybe because the violent level has was turned up on this space. Maybe that's why I'm here today. Uh, hmm. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot to talk about, and to be honest, to say that I am disappointed would be that would be me speaking very lightly about my own feelings and my own emotions. Sometimes I try to have to catch myself and say, you know what, Auntie, don't break your head. It never reach like that. But generally, with regards to the judiciary, wallahi, when Shakespeare said that we need to literally, literally gather all of them and shoot them, wallahi, we need to gather those justices, um, put them on a stake, and then get them and their families to understand that they can't hold an entire, let's even say maybe somebody exaggerated our census numbers, the entire 200 million Nigerians. I don't think that they have the right to have done that. Someone earlier had mentioned that if we combine the numbers, the counted votes, the legitimate votes for the Labour Party, the PDP, NNPP, and maybe one or two for Showore and his people. The guys, even after rigging, APC didn't come close to half our numbers. So I'm not sure that we should even be taking any instructions or listening to them in any way whatsoever, because then we already know how they got those numbers. Someone also said earlier that I agree to say that the justices have tasted sugar, or rather, they would say have tasted honey. They have tasted honey they know what honey tastes like now. They don't want to lose what honey tastes like. Then the people who haven't tasted it want to play a part in it. So it's as simple as saying that, you know what, put me in there, I'll do your bidding, because I have seen the good tidings that, you know, that my predecessors have enjoyed, and what they will continue to enjoy. So I completely agree that nobody's good. They're not going to put down any other good judgments in the innocent's favor if we do not take drastic actions to literally take them out. In terms of strategizing, someone said yes, let's strategize. I agree, because you know there are a number of loopholes that are out there that we need to be very cognizant of. We need to take cognizance of, and you know, working with you know, looking at the composition of the National Assembly today, the question is, you know, how do we fix that? Even if we say yes, let's put a president in there, you remember that he will still have to work with, you know, this, for want of a better word of saying it, you know, seriously, idiots, you know, idiots who don't even know how to manage their language, idiots who don't even know how to think beyond, you know, you know, their backsides, idiots who actually honestly don't even, they just they honestly don't have the 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 good thoughts, the simple good thoughts of their fellow man in front of them. They honestly don't have good consciences. Seriously, they don't. All they want to go there and do is want to recover the money that, you know, most of them spent on the elections, you know, rigging the elections, bribing the for the elections, you know, and then coming into power. That's all they want to do. Now, the guys who we thought were going to act as formidable opposition are not doing the jobs. So we are looking for the LP reps, asking the questions, and senators, hey, what are you guys doing with all these monies that are flying around, with, you know, the trove of hungry people right behind you? You know, you are taking what, 160 million naira worth of SUV. Are you serious? Nobody thought about that. They weren't speaking out about that. Hello, 2 days ago, you know, Akpabio did his magical wonders, and all of a sudden, opposition got up, and Labour Party senators are expecting us to jump on the bandwagon and support them. You know what? Seriously, this madness that Tinubu Bula Blah has put in front of us, is the madness is now across board. Everybody will get a taste of it, whether you like it or not. The good thing about the obedience where we're sitting is because we were honestly managing our expectations prior to today. If you, whether we liked it or not, we knew that somewhere along the line those justices were going to succumb to the pockets of, you know, Tinubu. All they needed was just the right price. We knew, so we kind of like managed our expectations. The guys who are weeping and wailing today, the ones who are, you know, someone said, I think the person said weeping pro max or crying pro max or tears pro max, something like that. The ones who are doing that, who are suffering that now, are the ones who thought that, you know, after they've received 5,000 naira in their bank accounts, things were going to work out for them. Half of them, even those 5,000 naira, half of them didn't get paid. We've seen videos where even people that thought that, you know, that things were going to work out for them, is not working out for them. So if we are talking about this discussion about a revolution, I truly, honestly, am for it, and I'm hoping that at some point it's all going to come together. Now, in
Yeah.
coming together, please understand that what happened at the what's it called, NSAS. NSAS didn't just start at once. It actually gradually built itself to what we saw it become. And that's exactly the way this is going to go. I don't know if, I'm not a soothsayer, so I don't know if Kano State is going to lead us there or Nasarawa State will lead us there. I don't know, honestly. But I know that it is going to come to a head. And
Yeah.
well-being, you are quite right that it needs to start from the bottom. Because if those guys at the bottom who created, honestly joined in creating this mess that we're in today, if they do not come on if they are not on it, the type of numbers that we're looking for, we may not see. So we need to actually begin to go into their consciousness to understand that T-Boy and his so-called Guinness award-winning administration, right? The evil that they have put in front of us,
Yeah.
is going to touch everybody. So, but thank you
All right.
thank you everybody so much for this
Thank
time.
you very much. Thank you very much. Your name is it's very difficult to call it.
It does
No,
come with mommy water. I'm from the sea.
but I need, if you are really a Mami Water, I need you to, yeah, you should try to pay a
I'm
visit
on this.
to.
I beg all these witches and wizards. Mommy, what are they? I don't know people that work for this
I
country.
know that's point.
And I need to the hold men for ransom. When I go to Aso, I want to give you address, man. This night, please. I don't want someone to sleep. Mommy, what are you there? Mommy, what are?
I'm here. I'm here.
Are,
Yes, I
are you
haven't gone
there?
back. I haven't gone back into the sea. Yes, I'm here.
Please, your next meeting, then. Tell your people that
Mm.
you people are worse than Nigerians are not protesting. We need people to work now. If you want contract, I give you contract.
Saddam, thank you. I will speak to them tonight.
Thank you very much.
I will supply in a broom. If I want broom, I will supply in a broom.
Jimmy, just enjoy your Thanksgiving. No worry, we're on ground.
Oga Saddam, me now join. I want join their community. How did they take join a big? My me or answer house.
Where you dey go? This kind of community you want to join? Why you not go join? We be saying now, go and join Papi Water. Chris, go ahead. Sorry, no, not Chris. Office of the Citizen, go ahead. After which we'll come to Chris. Please, let's try to do 3 minutes. We're trying to round up. But we're out of time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, well-meaning. Thank you very much, Emir Saddam. Thank you, Uncle Jimmy. In fact, happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Americans. So I'm not American, but I'm collecting it today. But see, when it's Ramadan time, with all of us, they go each other house, go collect meat too. Nobody they invite us, come collect turkey. Now wow, okay, it is well, sha. Anyway, on the topics, judiciary rascality or judicial rascality, let me put it that way. I'm sure this is not the first time we have heard of the rascality in the country. I keep saying that Nigerian judiciary needs to be disbanded. A democracy without a working judiciary is a charade. There is no point, because what makes democracy work is the rule of law. If there's no rule of law, then there is no democracy. Winston Scott in John Wick would say that rules, without them, we live with the animals. If we do not have a system that works, where you can adjudicate, where you can resolve issues, then we have a huge problem. Senator Yusuf Datiba Ahmed has said it. Delefaru Timi has said it. Professor Dinkal Chidi has said it. Everybody knows that we have a problem. The question is, what exactly is the Nigerian citizen going to do about it? Right? We must continue to educate ourselves, especially those that are on the streets. I kind of like how Edem puts it, where he makes it a gospel for him to continue to inform people. In fact, I realized that Nigerians really do not listen until you tell them, until you pass a message in a way that they cry. If you don't make them cry, they will not remember. Sometimes the tragedy is necessary for people to have sense. That's why when the news broke about someone that passed, some particular person that passed after all of the, I was angry that why would this person pass? He's supposed to stay here and enjoy the shege with all of us. Why are you running away to? Nobody must die, I beg. Any Agbado that wants to die, please call them back. They will not run away at this point. The other thing about the Nigerian Islamic State, I strongly believe that even right from the military era, there's a particular document that was flying around at some point, that there was some meeting by one of the military people, Abacha or IBB, I'm trying to remember. You also remember that Shekau did something called an Islamic declaration of a declaration of the Islamic Republic in Nigeria sometime in 2014. So I keep saying it, that the Usman Danfodio conquest has not finished. If you ask Ahmadu Bello, of blessed memory, he probably still holds that to his heart. And there are many students of Ahmadu Bello
I'm hoping that Nigerians will come to understand that this whole religion thing is humanity first. You don't want to. Religion stops. Religion, I like how NCS puts it. Let me just round up with this. NCS puts it many months ago that religion does not stop. Religion stops you. So religion does not make you kill me because I do not follow your religion. Religion stops you. Religion makes sure that you keep yourself away from anything that I do that does not align with your religion, right? So let's preach humanity first. Let's tell each other that religion is not something that you have to force on people. Many people, when people that are looking for this whole one religion state, they will not go to Islamic religions to go and spend their lives. It's Canada and US that they will go to, where things are free, where there is freedom of and do something serious about taking our country back. The country is ours, and we ours, and we must do something about it. Let me just say, Kempela, I see you, sir. Ogahari, well done, boss. Thank you very much, everyone, and I say,
Thank you.
have a good night from here.
Thank you very much, Office of the Nigerian Citizen. All right, quickly, we'll go straight to Chris. After Chris, I'm only seeing people that the hands are up. So after Chris, I'll come to Dr. Barry. I'll take it from there. Okay, after Dr. Barry, we'll come to Harry. I think Harry, we've answered. Chris, go ahead. 3 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you, well-meaning. Uwese, I greet everybody on space, so I'll be quick. If Manu Water stay there, just one assignment for you and your folks. I beg, that yacht where they buy, if na see am for any of na water, you know what to do, I beg. If you na just see am, just do the needful. So I actually requested for the mic when I heard someone was encouraging us to, on Sunday when you get to church, ask your pastors what they think about the whole Islamic thing. And look, I'll tell you what your pastor will tell you if you ask for church news like that or rumors like that. At that point, it's not left to all of us. And one more thing. If I dey follow you for this Twitter, I know Kuku get plenty followers or before. Or if I dey follow you and I hear you for space, come on, anywhere can they talk? I dey hear that kind of say daddy Geo. If I hear that shit, I dey block you. You go talk whether you don't know your papa will born you. And I saw that thing they start. And it was not a thing before for Nigeria. All of a sudden, the daddy. You don't even know your papa again for house. Your pastor now becomes your daddy. If I hear them, I don't want to know who you be. I mean, I will block you because I don't want some nonsense. In fact, today I don't receive enough nonsense. I go block you straight. And as for the revolution, look, I've heard a lot in the past 48 hours. Some people saying, if we join these kind of people now, at the end, we'll come back empty-handed because, the kind of issues, we could say it's local. What may happen at the national level, blah, 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 blah. See, whether you support the kind of people or not, they will, you see, this INEC and they will reverse this thing because why? They fear revolution. Actually, they are afraid of us protesting. And they are afraid. They don't want it to start from Kanu. Look, whether you support Kanu people or not, this thing will be reversed. And the problem, you not solve anything in the end. As for the revolution, whether you like them or not, I've also heard some people saying, oh, look, they organize. You see, they have influence. Look, what we want, and that is the revolution, right? What we want, it's not something that is going to start on the round table. It's not be Zoom meeting. It will start with, now it just needs a spark, or what some of us will call catalyst. Not be waiting some of us when they ask for things, let's stay organized, let's do these strategies. No way. No be so. I don't want to say so. If I just keep to myself, I wanted to say certain things as well, but I'll just keep to myself for now until all of us start to listen one by one. Thank you, well-meaning.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Barry, please quickly go ahead.
All right. Thank you, well-meaning, Saddam, and Jimmy, Mommy Bolanle. In fact, everybody on this space, Uncle Pella, thank you so much. Mommy Madonna, Uncle Didi, for staying alive and staying strong. When we see you guys on the space, we still have our strong mind that we are not alone. You see, Saddam, this is your topic, judiciary, judiciary rascality. If you ask me, I want to shoot these guys, so shoot them with sniper straight, poison their food. These guys are demons. I keep telling people the only way to get out of this nonsense is to finish these guys. Finishing. You know, on the space, most of the time, people say, Dr. Barry, why you talk like this? Finish them. It's just like the story in the Bible when God told one Israel king to go and fight war, and he said, make sure nobody survives in that village or in that city. And the king now went and took all their fine women, carried their goods, their ram, their sheep, everything, and killed all the men, and left one child that is a one-legged person. The child grew up at the end of the day, and his mother told him what happened. And do you know it was that same guy, that Gurgu, they call it in Hausa, that ended up destroying Israel at the end of the day? Don't leave them. Me, my kind of politics I play, if I catch you as an enemy, if I discover that you are my enemy, I will crush you to the ground. I will no mercy in my own kind of politics. Say I go repent. Devil no dey repent. If they wound, go hospital. As he well, he go come back torment you again. The devil can only be destroyed on the last day. Since you know that the devil is going to be destroyed only on the last day, anytime you catch him, finish him. Finish him. What are you waiting for? If we were in a normal country, by now, all those judges, their children, their wives, therefore don't kill them now. They will just dig, say, for church, they enter, slaughter them like ram. You think that they will be doing all the things that they are doing? This is a state capture. We know this, and we are doing smeh. You will see what will happen in Kano. They will take Kano and nothing will happen. These guys, they are ready. They are not afraid of us. I keep telling you people. Until we took hand for their eye, they will know who we be. And again, I want to tell you, this Islamic State thing, it don't pay. It don't pay where they don't do and Babangida na statam. They will go because they're head of state, they will go and register Nigeria in an Islamic international organization and be paying dues. When Obasanjo came, he refused to pay. When Yaradua came, he refused to pay. When Goodluck came, he refused to pay. Until when this idiot terrorist criminal came, the great-grandson of Usman Dan Fodio, terrorist president Muhammadu Buhari, and he paid that money without even asking the National Assembly to give him approval. This is what they want to do. We keep telling the people, they want to Islamatize Nigeria using Fulanization. We know this thing. That's why you see the killing in Benue is unprecedented, because that was where they killed their forefather, Usman Dan Fodio. Go and read your history. Nigeria is under attack, and until we come up and stand up against this wickedness, we go nowhere. For me, if you ask me, oh boy, now shoot aside though. I keep telling a lot of people, man dies but once. You don't feel die more than 2 times, more than once. So why you dey fear to die? If you die as small pikin, they born you today, you die today. And they born you today, you die next year. It's the same die. The difference is just that the days, maybe I die today, Jimmy die next week, Saddam die next 3 weeks, Wemini die next year. All die, now die. Everybody go die. Since we know say everybody go die, why una dey fear to die?
Hey, brother, I know already die. You may I chop bitter leaf too. Hey.
Oh, but Jimmy, you wicked though. You can't put pepper soup for stage for us to smell pepper soup from online. What do we want to arrest us? Say because we use the word revolution. You are wasting your fucking time. Because
All
this
right.
jail, you go arrest a lot of us. I beg no verse, make I just make one point, then I yield the mic. I am saying this now for those who will record me, go ahead. My name is Dr. Barry Avotu Johnson. I'm country director for Vote Must Count International Initiative. If they born your father well, I dey contest for AMAC chairman. If God make us say, I contest for that election, by God's grace, say revolution come and finish us and we go do the election. If you be INEC staff, if you be DSS or military or police or political party thug, you see the laugh where I laugh? Every polling unit will have 10 used tires and 10 thugs. If I catch you read fake results or you do anything against the Electoral Act on my vote, I swear to God, now born to arches straight, born
All
to
right.
arches. And you, INEC, if them born your father well, say you no come for that election, you announce results. Just know, say, now don't finish you. We won't show now, say, grab it, snatch it, run away with it. No be the only discussion or what's it called, definition for democracy.
All
Our
right.
own are vote it,
All right.
protect it, and wait for the grabbers.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. So quickly, let's go straight to Array. Array, let's quickly have you. So, you have 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry, I was reading one article. It's not even an article, actually. It's a thesis by a master student from one university like this, specifically on this Nigeria as an Islamic state. Sometimes you want to speak, but you have to be more informed. And as much as I would like to speak on that topic, I think it's something that will generate more unrest far than the calm that it's supposed to generate. Why I said this is that, you see, you cannot just come up, whether you are a traditionalist or whatever, and claim that a country that has a constitution, had a rule of law, had policies and everything, and then you think your own religion, whatsoever that religion is kind of, or you are tilting your policies or your interventions towards your religion, and you expect the others from the opposing religion or for the opposite side not to comment or not to argue with you. I believe you are not doing justice to yourself and even to your religion. Because I know and I can recall there are a lot of verses in the Holy Quran that forbid someone from doing so, especially when you know that whichever act will take or will be reacted by the other side if you are not on the same faith with them. And again, secondly, the purpose of any religion, if I understand better, is not just to practice your faith and you forget. No, is to also convince others, because all of these religions that we have evangelism. You try and convince others to come. I was taken by someone in Nigeria in the year 1986, precisely January or February that year. That action itself is totally against the constitution and is totally against the existence of the country Nigeria as a state. The reality that we have today is to respect their opinions, to live this country to be as secular as it can be. Allow everybody to do what they can, how they feel it's better, and how best they can do it. Irrespective, I'm a Muslim, I'm a northerner, a Hausa man. I know what is going on. From both sides, we all know what is going on. But again, can we please drop the tension and do the right thing? Follow our scriptures. Both scriptures have taught about tolerance, taking one another together. Let's move forward. And not just believing that yours is the best. No, you can't believe that. But also, as you have that belief, have that right to believe, have that opinion to have that belief, so is your. I will not believe in yours, neither will you believe in mine. What is the solution? To you is your faith, and to me is my faith. But let's join together and live like one and like one. In another verse in the Holy Quran, yes, Mark, well meaning, I'm rounding up. In another verse in the Holy Quran, it still tells us that, look, You and I should come into common terms as between me and you. What is that? We all believe in God, that God exists. Whatever is against that I feel you are going to do that is against my faith, I take my faith and I go, and you should take your faith and go. Do not believe in what I believe. So categorically, Islamically, and still I know from the Christian side, it has been said uncountable number of times that we should all believe in our faith, and let's practice and try as much as possible to tolerate one another. I think that is what I should be able to say today. Sorry if I cannot touch everything or all the sub topics in the topic, but
No,
based on the little
what you
reading
said
I did.
is actually the perfect. I was just going to say, I mean, this is like a perfect way. It's like a perfect closing sermon. Thank you for that. Like that was
Thank
so.
you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wellmeaning, and thank you so much, everybody on the space. My brother Saddam, thank you so much, and please allow me to plead and solicit for the support of the entire house for one of our co-mover of this obedient movement during the campaign. If you go to the timeline of Oga Saddam, you will see the post there, and if you follow up my timeline, you also see it there. I don't know if I'm allowed to post it on the Jumbotron, but if I'm allowed, I will do that later. So please, let's try and support him and move it. Let's bring him out of this problem that he finds himself in. He is currently suffering with cancer. Thank you so much.
It's direct support to him. It's not really asking for money. It's direct support to the guy Chichigoze, and instead of
I beg you, man, I support that guy. When I go support man, we come out in prick to go do BBL.
I know that you put it on the Jumbotron earlier on, and I've put it back on there. Right, so I am calling all obedience, all well-meaning Nigerians, right, who have also concluded that the judiciary, like my brother Dele said, is in the Shalanga. It has died completely. Anyway, there's a campaign that we started that we said every last Thursday of the month that we were going to remember that day while speaking to what's going on in the country. Please, 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 especially our big handles, right? Take that image, make it your own. Please post it so that people can see it and retweet it. Post it across social media handles because we need it to trend, right? We're going to, this is the start, but I mean, I know that people have said it needs to be more frequently, and we are doing stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff going on at the back end where we are trying to make sure that people do not move on from this conversation, because guess what, they want us to move on, right? So please, it's on the Jumbotron, it's on my pinned post on my profile. Please help us retweet it. Don't just retweet it, make your own tweets, speak to what, knowing how the judiciary has been behaving in the north or in the south or middle, but everywhere, basically. Right. So take ownership of it. It is our campaign. Then it relates to what you want to see for Nigeria. And since they have decided that we will not let go, there are other things coming up. So keep your eyes on the timeline. When it comes out, help us, because here's the thing, we held it down for a year on social media. We're not ceding the space now. Thank you. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you very much, Mami Balale. And yeah, I think I've already even put it up there, like you said. So please, let's have that in mind. I think before the day we might have some other graphics to also portray. But this is something that it's an idea that I think it's one of the easiest you can implement. At least this, even if it's on social media, let it at some point maybe be trickle down. If people begin to, I've heard people ask questions like, "Oh, let's do our grass." Those things we used to do before. Those things like, so even though it's very difficult in these times during election, but I think this is something that we can, since it's on Thursday, and do TBT, Throwback Thursday. I think this is once a month. And I think last time somebody was saying, oh, let's do it every once a month is too far or something. There was a reason as in when I had a conversation with some of the people that breeded the idea, there was a reason, it was made once a month. Once a week, see finish, we can't do. Some people can't retire. Once a year, it will be too. I mean, we have like NSAS Memorial once a year already, and before 1 year, everybody. So we want it to be something that over time people become accustomed. It also becomes a way to drive the message, right? Like anything you can do, if you want to even use it to show love to people in your neighborhood, and what do they celebrate? No, and today we are marking the death of the Nigerian democracy. This is some of those things. I mean, that these little things here and there that we can keep doing until Nigeria rises up. And I wanted to quickly say as well that our brother that I already talked about, I've just put some. I think I haven't put Chigoze's tweet and Saddam's reference tweet earlier on the Jumbotron. Let's try to reach out. The testimony of his work is there, so let's try to help as much as we can. No pressure. Anyway, on that note, I think we can not gradually. We're winding down the space. Apologies to those that, I think our American people, when I don't chop turkey, when I don't chop finish, when I can't come when we want close, when I can't prepare us, I will not allow it happen to my Nigerians. I will not allow it. Jimmy has done enough harm already. This is justice for Nigerians all over the world except US. Because these Nigerians in the US, people want to come and prepare us and make us feel we resist. We vote against it. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming around on the space today. I really want us to know that the problem in Nigeria, I really wish we do a lot as much as we can. Lily V, avoid me. Just avoid me. I don't want to be I don't want us to know that in as much as we smile, we try to send the message, put out the message the best any way we can so that every audience can get it. We say it in funny manners, we say it harshly, we say it realistically, we say it vehemently, we say it different ways, so that if hashtag they verse you, maybe cool one could make you go accept. But one thing we need to know is that the point where we are in Nigeria now, first of all, we can't go back from here. We can't give up. Then secondly, we need to act. We really need to act now. I really do not want to be old and Bashir El-Rufai will be running for president and Odili's daughter will be the Supreme Court judge that would affirm his rigging. Then my children will now be saying, you see, if you people have stopped it that time. If people have stopped it that time, now we are suffering. That's if Nigeria won't survive to that time. I don't think it will. But still, we'll keep pushing. At this point, I think I'll hand over to Saddam to round up.
All right, thank you very much for welcoming Nigeria. Thank you very much. All those who they chop turkey and pepper soup and bitter leaf. Make the bone no choking out for throat, chow. No wahala. Thank you very much, my brother Jimmy. Thank you. Guys, please don't forget on Saturday, Jimmy's we're having a space with the Nadeko guys. Everybody, please let's turn up on Saturday for that space, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The space should be scheduled. The flyers are everywhere already, so please let's jump on that space. But before we just wrap up, I just want to say real quick, thank you to all of you that always come out here whenever we call. Have these discussions, talk as much as possible, strategize as much as possible, create awareness as much as possible. At the same time, do the Lord's work. I just want to put in words also for the guy up there. Thousands, millions of them that supported this man, and unfortunately, they don't have the social currency that many of us enjoy today. There's so many of them that outdid many of us on the platform today, but we never hear about them. And one of them is down right now, and he needs help. Many of us have contributed money for. He needs help. Please reach out to him and support him as much as possible. I think the bill is 2 million naira. That's the hospital bill in ATB Uzaria, Bauchi. Yeah. A whole lot of obedience. I cannot fight with anybody. I cannot fight people that I believe that I fought on the same side with. I'm not that wicked. But if I say things I know about many people that we worked on the same side with on social media, and from a very painful part, But more they go, Sha. More they go. I always saw the time that there's nothing that exposes people more than time. Time expose everybody, and it's just a matter of time. Every place break, the Nadeko space will be hosting on Saturday. So please, guys, show up tomorrow. And also, please, yeah. I think Mindset will be having a space tomorrow also with General Oluchi on the space, one-on-one with General Oluchi. So please, you can also turn up for the space tomorrow. That's just for us, just all about conversations, having these conversations back and forth. And do not forget that over 70 people died in this election season for anybody to tell you to move on. We are not moving on from this season until the justice has been meted out as it deems fit. There's nothing like people died, people were brutalized, people will never walk again, some will never see again. All because they came out to vote. Any person telling you to move on is a freaking is an animal. There's no moving on. We'll hold this and take this to. We will remember. We're a generation that forgets so often. We should remember this and take it to our chest to the very end. Well, guys, thank you so much again. As I always say, thank you, my brothers. Well meaning, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Mommy Bola. God bless you, ma. Bob, thank you, guys, all of the Power FX team, cast and crew. Thank you, Vawulence Space team. All of you listening to us on the YouTube channel, the Vawulence Space radio station, the YouTube channel, the Facebook channel. Please, all of you that could not come up to speak, I beg no vex. So I see all my big people here that could not come up and speak. It's just that I've put a time cap to this space, and we're trying to make sure that we can always end up on time so that we said we can have some rest. Thank you, my brother. JP, it's good to have you back on the platform. Uncle Big Mag, I'm certain of eating like 3 turkey only today, Sha, but no wahala, sir. Thank you very much, Uncle Honorable Ken Pella. It's good to have you. Malam, my brother Malam Jabir, thank you for coming here today. Sweet Angel, Madonna. See, somebody went to go and learn. How can you be learning driving for 2 years? 2 years. Only you could learn driving for 2 years. You know, hi, God. But you on Twitter, you be dragging men. Nello, you, I'm calling out. You learned driving for 2 years. In a spaceship. Are you learning how to drive spaceship? Eh? I said I go drag him. I can't see him for space today. I won't forget to drag him. Nello! Ha! Oh, congratulations. So you can't even celebrate her. Hey, I get my car.
Bro, it's not
a
easy to
tipper.
get UK driving license. Oh. It's not easy to get UK driving license.
But I mean, give me no them not this. Don't be I made the drive trailer. Yeah, I made the drive trailer. I say,
I did it one time and I got it.
oh. But when I came, you drove me now. I felt how. Don't give me that, Jimmy. Please don't support bad thing.
Nello, you get me.
All right, to have you here, Tolu, my bro. How you doing? Good to have you, Nigerian. Dr. Bankole.